queer up LGBTQ plus civil rights. Tens of thousands march in Warsaw, Poland, demanding LGBTQ plus rights. A massive crowd marched in Warsaw's Pride Parade this weekend, demanding equality for LGBTQ plus people ahead of the Polish elections. The country's right-wing government has focused on opposing what it calls LGBT ideology in previous campaigns. But Warsaw's mayor vowed that the LGBTQ plus community will always be safe. A member of the liberal opposition party told crowds, quote, "I hope you will all be safe in Poland," end quote. Same-sex relationships are not legally recognized in Poland, and the country already bans same-sex couples from adopting children. There are also obstacles for transgender people seeking to formalize their transition. Poland's ruling conservative nationalist Law and Justice Party says extending marriage and adoption to gay couples threatens traditional family structures and is harmful to children. Activists expect that these issues will be used to mobilize conservative voters in the predominantly Catholic country during the election in October or November. The mayor of Paris, France, Anne Hidalgo, said, quote, "We will not let ourselves be influenced by those who want to extinguish women's rights, minority rights, LGBTQ plus rights. And today, I want to say to you that in Paris, just as in Warsaw, we also totally stand in solidarity and are engaged with you for the rights of transgender people," end quote. And you know, the more I see this and I look at it, I can't tell if Poland is looking like America or if America is starting to look more like Poland. It seriously, hate has been an American export, an American conservative export for years. Where they can get it, and where can they get it? Eastern Europe, sub-Saharan Africa. Yeah. These are places that they go in, they set up all the laws that they wish they could have passed in America, know that they're still a long ways away, if ever, from being able to do it, and they pass them there, and they oppress people of the world. And when you oppress LGBTQ, you're oppressing more than just LGBTQ, even if you don't realize it.
Well, wow, powerful. Wow.
You know, Friday, I can partially give you an answer from impression. Friday, I walked by Bona. I was going to the Wilton Collective, and I was meeting the CEO of Gay Days. And as I walked by Bonus, somebody came out of Bona and said, "We're having dinner, and I want you to meet a couple of people." And I went in to Bona, and it was two individuals from the German embassy in Washington, and consulate level staff from the German embassy, and they were here in Fort Lauderdale. Specifically, they had come because Stonewall Pride was going on, and they had come to Stonewall Pride because of all of the things that were going on in terms of the politics here in Florida. And I introduced myself to them, and we were talking a moment. And I said, you know, it's interesting because in Germany, we would never see what we see in Florida. And both of them cautioned me to say, not so fast, because they talked about this growing conservative point of view of, it's a small minority, but a growing vocal minority in Germany that is like, and then they referenced Hungary and Poland. And to the point that you just said, that they expressed, one of the biggest groups supporting the idea of this much more conservative, far be it for me to say Germany and fascism in the same sentence, is conservative evangelical in the United States, influencing these minority points of view.
Like a template.
Germany. Exactly. And it's like, from my age group time period, a mimeograph machine.
I remember it.
It
smelled so good.
It's cheap in terms of the quality, but it's effective, and you mimeograph this cheapness out, and they're doing it to many places. And where it's taken the strongest hold in the European community is in Eastern Europe, Hungary, Poland. The Slavic East next to Russia. And disappointing people from the German embassy in Washington saying, yeah, we're starting to see it in Germany.
I think it's a ripple effect. And it's being pervasive. I mean, it's really.
And when you hear people say, you know, it threatens family values, it's a dog whistle. You know, I always apply the standard. I tell this story repeatedly. Well, yes, those were the arguments that we made in 1958 about black people. Okay. The church, evangelicals, said, you know, God didn't want black people in our churches in Mobile, Alabama. All right. That's just ignorance. That's what these people are saying currently in Poland. You're just ignorant. That's all.
And it's just the sad part is we're so many years later.
Yeah.
And that's happening.
Yeah. This is 2023 after all.
All right.
We are Queer News Tonight, the world's first and only live daily LGBTQ plus evening news show from Happening Out Television Network. In the model of PBS and NPR, we educate, inform, and entertain by supporting the 10 pillars of the LGBTQ plus community, with more than 100,000 a week watching on Roku, Apple Television, and other channels. To keep the stories going, we accept donations with 100% transparency. Stay updated and live authentically with Queer News Tonight.